As I have mentioned in my earlier talks, OSP was given to men, gifted to men by the Creator through his agents and lieutenants and what we now call as gods, messengers in heavens, through a doctor named John B. Newborough of New York City. He was a dentist. He was a huge big man, and he had a gift of God by which the spirits were able to communicate with him and through him. So he kept up with what was happening to him, because he knew that this was something which is different and which is not normally experienced by other people. He had a friend called Edwin Augustus Davis, with whom he had grown up, and Dr. John Newborough used to communicate with him and tell him what was happening to him, and his friend was sympathetic, and because they realized that there was something else hidden which they did not know at that time, and if something could come around from the power that he had, there was nothing wrong with it. So Dr. John Newborough was inspired to stop eating non-vegetarian food, and he turned himself to be a vegetarian, and he was like in total guidance from the higher heavens. Elsewhere, when we read in OSP, we come to study the lives of other lawgivers and people through whom we understand the religions as they are today. Zarathustra, Moses, Chain, Kapilya, Brahma, all these lawgivers had a guidance from the higher heavens who were guiding their lives. Similarly, Dr. John B. Newborough's life was also guided. He was inspired to buy a typewriter which was just then in the market, and he got himself a typewriter. He did not know typewriting because he never learnt it. He was a dentist and a doctor, so he had no opportunity of getting a typewriter and learning typing. He was inspired to buy plenty of paper and keep it ready, so that it was paper was always available when he was to start typing. In 1880, typewriters were just then in the market, and he got himself a typewriter as well as plenty of paper, and he used to get messages, and from 1st January of 1881 he used to sit down next to his window and with a typewriter at hand and with fresh paper every morning. His hands used to go to the typewriter, and it used to be just a mechanical process, like how we see the teleprinters and all today, connected by cords. But his connection was from the higher heavens. There was a ray of light coming directly onto his hands from the higher heavens, and his hands would keep on typing continuously. Every day it lasted for about an hour or so, at the end of which he would just wind up for the day, put the typed paper upside down on a pile, and leave for his other works. He was inspired not to read what he was writing or typing. He used to talk to his friends that this is what was happening. His friend encouraged him that because they were not doing anything which was morally wrong, it was probably some kind of a phenomena which they did not understand, and if they tried to understand, then the whole phenomena which had started could go haywire. So he kept on typing. Every morning when he used to come back for typing, he would see that the paper which he had left on the earlier day was on it was placed a paperweight, and a fresh paper was already in the typewriter on which he started typing. This phenomena went on for 50 weeks, up to 15/12/1881, which is when the whole typing process came to an end. After that, he was told to organize everything and start reading. When he read, he was absolutely flabbergasted. He never imagined that he would be an agent through whom the Creator would send any messages to the earth. But somehow it happened that way. During his process of becoming a vegetarian, he had lost over 100 pounds, and all his physical problems went away. As mentioned earlier, he had a huge body, but he became very fit, and he remained active for quite a few years. The book OSP is written in Old English of 1880s. So this was the time even before Shakespeare. The English used was instead of saying you, it addresses the other person as thee and thou. So it is not very easy to read unless you really have to make an effort at reading it and navigating yourself through it. Probably this is one of the reasons why OSP has not become popular like the Bible or the Quran or Gita. Gita, though written in Sanskrit, has lots of commentaries which are in all our conventional languages of Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, and most people over here in India also do not know Sanskrit, so we have to rely on somebody else, basically the priestly class, who gives the shloka in Sanskrit and gives meaning of these shlokas. Next, I will move on to the next lecture. Thank you.